25th of June and 16th of July 2007, Viktor Sayenko, Igor Suprunyuk, and Alexander Hanzha were responsible for a spree of crimes, earning them the nickname the Dnepropetrovsk Maniacs. Viktor and Alex were childhood friends. They were good kids, all until they met Igor. Their grades began to slip, and their behavior became more and more deviant. Igor was the clear ringleader of the three. Although he was shy and withdrawn, he often got into trouble for fighting. He and Viktor found common ground in their fear of heights, as well as a fear of being beaten up by bullies. Igor was determined to defeat these fears by facing them head-on. Alex was the most squeamish of the three. He had a fear of blood. Igor's obsession with conquering fears led the trio to capturing and torturing animals in the local area. They took photographs of their antics, hanging a dog from a tree before disemboweling it and drawing a swastika with its blood and giving the Nazi salute. Igor, being born on April 20th, was proud of the fact that he shared the same birthday as Adolf Hitler. The first murders took place within hours of each other. Igor attacked a woman, hitting her in the side of the head with a hammer before bludgeoning a man sleeping on a park bench to the point he was left unrecognizable. Murders committed in the weeks that followed also took place on the same day, one of which was a 21-year-old man who was hit in the head 15 times with a hammer. He also received a swastika written on his forehead. It's difficult to regard one of the attacks as worse than the others, but the maniac's encounter with the pregnant Valeria Lobachenko is perhaps the most shocking to hear about. The acts carried out on Valeria are too gruesome to mention in detail, but it was confirmed that they removed her unborn child from her womb at the scene of the fatal attack. And it makes me genuinely hope that no footage or photographs were ever taken. One attack, which unfortunately was recorded and made its way to the internet, was the attack which took place the day prior on a 48-year-old man named Sergei Yatsenko. This attack became the infamous snuff video known as 3 Guys, 1 Hammer, and it depicts Sergei laying on his back in a wooded area, being struck multiple times with a hammer concealed inside a plastic bag. Igor, the attacker, poked out Sergei's eyes before stabbing him in the abdomen with a screwdriver. Igor then struck Sergei again in the head with a hammer to ensure he was no longer alive. The attack lasted around 4 minutes, in which the victim goes in and out of consciousness. Smiling towards the camera throughout the video, the 2 boys then walk back to their car, calmly discussing the moment, expressing mild amazement at how he was still breathing throughout the attack. The 2 boys then wash their hands and wash the hammer with a bottle of water, as they begin to laugh in enjoyment. The motive behind the killings was unclear to begin with. Until this day, it's still debated by many. Rumor had it that the 3 boys carried out their murders in attempt to get rich, as they had made a contact who was a rich, foreign website operator with whom they'd been assigned to make 40 snuff videos for, in return for a big payout. If this were true, we can be sure that the boys would not have wasted any time in hunting their next 19 targets. While this is in the realm of possibility, since snuff videos were somewhat of an emerging craze back in the 2000s, authorities rejected this theory on the basis of no evidence supporting it. The supposed motive, which was settled upon, however, the boys simply committed these murders out of enjoyment. All the evidence illustrated that the boys treated murder as a source of entertainment, a hobby very much like hunting. Evidence from the boys' collection of over 300 photographs and 2 videos revealed their complete disregard for human life and illustrated just how sick and twisted these monsters truly were. Many of the photos depicted animal abuse, with the boys posing next to the mutilated animal corpses. Even darker still, photos were found showing the boys in attendance at the funerals of some of their victims, showing the middle finger to their coffins and gravestones. Justice was finally served on the 11th of February 2009, when the courts found Igor Suprunyuk and Viktor Sayenko guilty of premeditated murder. Igor guilty of 21 counts and Viktor of 18 counts. Both were handed life sentences Alexander Hanzha was not involved in the murder, but was handed a 9-year sentence for his involvement in the robberies. With the other two, it was argued by the legal representatives of the boys that the photographs were faked. While possible, even in the mid-2000s, it is extremely unlikely that 40 minutes worth of video footage could be faked. The parents of Igor and Viktor pled their son's innocence. Igor's father claiming that his son had been tortured into confessing. Honestly, the evidence against the boys was far too strong to argue against. A several hundred-page verdict was read out over 2 days. Even an opinion poll was conducted in Dnepropetrovsk, showing that 50% of people believed that the Maniacs' sentencing was fair, while 48% believing a more severe sentencing was necessary. So what do you think?